disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
We about to give him something new, Mike. Yeah. 3X's. Y'all ready? Whether flaming a mic or flaming a blunt, he gon' keep it a bean and say what he want. He was the first one doing this here, and y'all stealing. We only gon' give you the truth like Ron Killings. Yeah, guard feelings cause they might get hurt. Got a hold on this game, H fighting Kurt. 16 years strong, even doing this thing well. While these other dudes losing their edge like Gangrel. Look, find a seat while I ride the beat. When it come to podcast, he's the tribal chief. I'm talking Major, the Genesis, Sega, and anything we still wondering about. That's why we got Michaela. As long as he here, you other dudes might shine. The only brother that can outdo the pipe bomb icon. Do it for the people like The Rock. Welcome to the show, introducing Mike Knoxxx. Yeah. Let's go.
Whew. Now we gave night one a hard time. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We gave night one a very, very hard time. But was it warranted? Hell yeah, it was warranted. But night two, sure the hell wasn't, yo. Welcome back to the Mike Knoxxx Show. The show for you, the intelligent wrestling fan. I'm one of your hosts this evening. The star of this thing, Mike Knoxxx, spelled with 3 X's, because like that main event, I am hardcore like my tribal chief. Another shirt in the building, just so you know. See that CM Punk? Representing them the right way, not wearing no damn Minnesota North Wild Star, whatever the hell you are. Okay? But please make sure you get in where you fit in. Like, follow, subscribe. Share this bell notification. We go live. Let you know we go live. All that good stuff. Make sure you follow my social media to the Ayatollahs and Rock and Rolls as well. 301 King Von Jr. Victorious Ones podcast. Always holding me down backstage. And joining us today. He was here yesterday morning for night one review. Coach P. What's going on, Coach P? How you doing today? Oh, got you muted.
Oh, man, ready to talk some wrestling. Man, ready to talk shop.
Ready to talk shop. Here's what I want to talk about. Shop. Because last night is how you do a SummerSlam. Last night is why I hate night one and night two. It's why I don't like it. I always feel like one of the nights you're going to get shafted. This is how I feel. And happened in Philly, got cold. Night one was there. It was just okay. Night two, we said, man, it might be still cold. Let's go hang with the family. Sold our tickets and was like, damn, why did we do that? Okay? Straight up. Why we are here selling our tickets for night two of WrestleMania XL? Don't understand it. So, we get to night two of this thing here, right? And let's not forget some perks from night one, okay? There's some good things that happened in night one, okay? We talked about the biggest problem to TKO and Triple H Paul Levesque is this man right here, Mr. Obafemi, the next big thing. Some say he should have came out last night and immediately put his hat going out against Roman Reigns. That was pretty good. Okay? What else is pretty good from night one? You know what? I'm a fan of Suge Sokoa, and LA Knight organically is finally getting over with fans. I'm intrigued by this storyline. This storyline is why I'm okay with Oba not going after the Tribal Chief. I said it yesterday on yesterday's show. If you go after Tribal Chief Mr. Roman Reigns right now, which I get, there's not much left out there for him to do. Then you give him something new. You have him go, Coach P said, have him go against those guys we haven't seen him go against yet. My problem, I say, he's the biggest problem with Obafemi is he goes against Roman and he loses. And it's a lose-lose, in my opinion, for the company. Not necessarily Roman, but if Oba loses to Roman without a cattle pry, in my opinion, okay, something's wrong. But we don't want to also know what they're doing with Roman because we saw yesterday, and we're going to get into it, my guy, the Tribal Chief, without help, without a bloodline, straight up one-on-one, no chair, no dirty deeds at all. Well, there was a few double dirty deeds. Shout out to John Moxley. Okay. But they did their thing last night. So I want to talk about that as well. Okay. They're saying a perfect ending to the Shield. That just lets us know what I think a lot of us already kind of knew, that Johnny Moxley ain't coming back. Why would he? Okay. So that was good. They said the names. I heard Mercedes Moné name mentioned yesterday on the program, right? It's like I'm finally glad wrestling companies are stopped hiding, especially not wrestling companies. WWE hiding the fact that these other promotions and the other wrestlers exist. I've always hated that philosophy of those guys not being there. All right, I don't know what's going on. Looks like I got removed from Facebook for some other reason, but we're going to go back and re-record that right there. But I like to get into this because I thought yesterday SummerSlam. Oh yeah, I didn't forget Chelsea. Hey, I don't know. My bad. Wow. What a night. And then let's not forget the ultimate thing. How you start off a pay-per-view. You think you're getting this one-on-one match. And everybody thought it was a one-on-one match. And when that becomes a one-on-one match, you look at it differently. Nick Aldis comes out and goes, I fucked up. Come on, Gunther. You're in here. Gunther's all happy. Got his maroon on. Sammy's pissed. Yet again, Finn Balor, who people say, why now? Same thing you say about Corbin. But, I'm a Finn Balor mark, so I'm like, why not Finn? But I get it. It shouldn't be Finn either. It's been too long. Boom! Out comes Kevin fucking Owens. And I instantly got a headache because I started screaming. Remember Coach P when we went to wrestling for the first time? I did some most embarrassing things to myself trying to get Shawn Michaels' attention. That's how loud I screamed yesterday when Kevin Owens came out. and Sami is my guy. Okay, I am a Sami Zayn mark. I still want the Sami Zayn files to be released from when he had the Sami Zayn, the conspiracy theory going on clips. I want those. But damn, all that, man. Night one. Where you want to start, Coach P?
Let's start right at the top, man. You driving the car, man. Start at the top.
I'm looking at what we just saw. I'm looking at the ability right now to have Kevin Owens comes out. People are mad. Sami Zayn, what happens to Sami? This isn't fair to Sami. Sami can't, do this, right? And my mind is like, okay, before Kevin Owens got hurt, wasn't he at the top of the list?
That's what I thought. I mean, and not only that, who cares? So what? I mean, this isn't like there's no real ranking. I mean, like I don't want to be that guy, but
right.
Who cares? So what?
Okay.
So what? I mean, it is what it is. They write guys in all the time. It's all about the booking. We can't complain about the booking, and then when they book it right, it's a problem. Who cares about rankings and everything? I mean, you put that was a big. Did you hear that pop?
Yes, I heard the pop. Okay.
I should have let you know right there.
What makes the pop even more brilliant, in my opinion, from fans' perspective, and I see all you guys chiming in, and I get your notes and your comments in a second, appreciate you, is the guy who's hurt, the girl that's hurt that comes back automatically always have gotten a shot right to the top. I don't know why all of a sudden this is something different and out of left field, okay?
Remember why they left anyway. They left because of an unfortunate circumstance. So it's like people forget about that part and only focus on what's going on now.
So much story in this, though, because you get Kevin Owens yet again stopping. Last time he had a match, he went against Sami Zayn. His first match back, he beat Sami Zayn. I mean, this rivalry, like, we're going to talk about it later. And as I'm watching Seth and Roman, I can't help but watching my mind is going, yeah, I love this, but this ain't Sami and KO. Sami and KO, to me, might be one of my all-time rivals in the history of professional wrestling. You can insert anything. I don't care. I'm not saying I'm ranking it number one.
It's not even done either.
It's
not done. It's far from done.
In my all-time favorite because these guys be friends. They be best friends. They be tag teams. They beat the living shit out of each other. And I fucking love it.
They got that chemistry, man. They got that chemistry. One where no matter what they're doing with each other, they got chemistry. They can hate each other. They can love each other. It's just always chemistry there.
Listen, this thing is different And I love that it's back. I don't care. I have no complaints. The people that complain, and guess what? I'm actually going to stop talking about you people. I'm actually going to do myself a favor, right? Because I just like to tell people they're dumb. I'm being honest. I love to call out stupidity, right? But I've realized as I be 51 this year, I wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Joke's on you. I'm still alive. Okay. I can't give that my energy no more. So I share it because I want to be like the troll now to Vaughn. Vaughn's a good troll. I hate being trolled, by the way, Coach P. I am not nope. You get me every time. You for real? You know what I'm saying? I am not a troller. Okay. But I want to become one because these people are just idiots. Right?
It takes a special skill to be a troll, high level troll. So
well, you know what? I'm pretty skillful. You know, I'm a Leo. Did someone say August? Okay, so I mean, this is what I do. But Jeffrey Chapman, I think night 2 was a better night. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, it didn't look like it on paper, but man, that's why we play the game. That's why we play the game. It didn't look like it on paper, but it happened.
One of CM Punk heroes was Terry Funk. That match was funky in the wrong way. Okay. Fight Owens fight. Listen, Grandmaster P chimes in. No longer talking SummerSlam overall. 4 and 5 over Femi NXT titles. The future of WWE storyline. It must see. Too bad I canceled my Netflix. You know what? I got rid of my Netflix too. I'm no longer spending $360 a year for that shit. Okay.
I don't even know whose Netflix I have at this point. We just have it, and I don't even know whose it is. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who's the administrator. We just have Netflix. I don't know. And I don't know.
I loved it. Night 2 was better. Yes. Just yes, night 2 was better. But I think, again, this is why I'm not the component for having these double nights. Okay. So that match, not just that Kevin Owens come back, the match in itself was great in itself. Okay. Also, this only match in the card I did not need was this. But as a WWE fan, I understand this is part of the company's shtick.
Yeah, it's always
going to have a comedy thing there.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with Danhausen. I have a problem with Danhausen winning. And that's what I don't like. But it's fine. It's something I'm going to gripe on. I still personally think that Dirty Dominik Mysterio is the true future of the WWE. That's just me. None of these other guys. I think he has every tool it takes in the bag. And I think that he has the kind of heat that once Ray helps him and Ray gets some heat, and then he turns back to being good like his dad. But everyone happens. If it don't happen, then what's going to happen? He will get the biggest pop. He'll be one of the biggest faces of all time. I believe that in Dominik Mysterio, as long as he don't get hurt. Okay? But this ladder match, I had people hitting me up that don't even watch wrestling, Coach, and told me this ladder match was the match of the night at this point.
I'm not mad at those people. No. Now, I don't think it was
Last Legends, that missing spot, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think it was the ladder match, the previous best women's ladder match of all time, but it was pretty damn good, man. I was, yeah. And I think, listen, just off of Chelsea's bump in that ladder match alone is why probably they gave her the championship.
Listen, watching Miss Chelsea Green, I can't do it. Right,
I love her,
watching Miss Chelsea Green. You know, I'm never going to stop being who I am. Right, so anytime I see Last Legend or any of my BGMs,
let's get it. Absolutely, I'm with you. I'm with you on
my
that.
Black Girl Magic.
I'm with you on that, bro. Listen, I'm with you.
Everybody black.
Yeah,
but I love Chelsea Green.
I'm happy about this one, man. I am.
So I had said before it happened, I want to see them win. And as soon as she won, I'm watching this match. If you know wrestling, you're watching what's happening in the match, right? You're wondering why they're bringing in the extra ladder, right, with her in the middle, right? And then they're climbing to the top. They go down. Then they go down. I'm sitting there watching the blood rushing to Chelsea Green's head. She was there for 5 to 7 minutes just upside down on the ladder. I said, watch her do a sit-up and go to the top. They fall. She does the sit-up, goes to the top, grabs the title. And to me, this is one of the most iconic moments in SummerSlam because no one, to me, expected this. I know her significant other, Matt Cordova, a.k.a. Zach Woo Woo Woo. I still always think he sucks, bro. I just didn't like the gimmick. That's just me. One of the most iconic moments to me was her doing this and winning this title because, again, this is what I love about professional wrestling, Coach.
Yeah, I'm glad you. I was just about to say that too, but go ahead. You're about to hit the nail on the head.
You don't get it often.
Yeah,
You don't get it often.
Yeah.
They don't pull the trigger often on the no, you're not going to win, especially going off of Unreal Season 2. Right, Michael P.S. Hayes them saying how she's not the one. She's a 3 and a 4. She's not a top star. And you're watching this like, what are you watching? I get I've never been implored to go write for a wrestling company of the stature of the WWE and things of that nature. Yeah. But I've been watching wrestling for over 45 years, and I think I know a thing or two about how wrestling is supposed to go. Go ahead, Coach.
I'm gonna say this though, and I think that when people say stuff like that, we got to understand where they come from. These guys are in these rooms, man, and for the most part, they could get fired for these bad decisions. And I think guys have gotten fired for these decisions. Mm-hmm. So they say these things from a safe perspective. Of course, when we get in, we want to do the most radical shit we possibly can. You know what I mean? But those guys got to kind of weigh. They got to kind of weigh like, okay, let me just play it safe. And a lot of them do that. They have that mentality because, they could lose their job. They're making too many bad decisions. Mm-hmm. So I understand why he would say something like that. But it shows kind of like a detachment from like, okay, get out of that chair, man, and actually look at it from the lens of like how we're looking at it. Because I could clearly see no matter what Chelsea's doing, she's entertaining, bro. And we all know that she can wrestle, bro. Like we know that she can do some crazy spots. We know that. Yeah. We know her history. She probably has one of the more iconic matches for a male-female match ever.
Yeah.
Like, so we know she can take it there. But with that being said, like, it's just a matter of whether somebody believes that, all right, I want to pull the trigger. Because there's so much stuff you can do with Chelsea Green as a face. Yeah, she shouldn't be beating certain people. But can you imagine, like, think about how Latino Heat won and how he got over. Yeah. You can do the same thing with her.
She has that in her, even though that's been given and cast to go to Dominik. But yeah, why not have her too?
And hear me out on this one. And not necessarily the lie, cheat, steal angle, but just a improbable
ways of winning.
Like an improbable lucky motherfucker. I mean, you can do that with her.
Absolutely.
And she can sell it like just some of the most improbable wins, however long you want to ride it out, you can do that with Chelsea Green, and I'm all for it. I would tune in to see how she beats some of these people that she shouldn't be beating. And you could splinter off if she decides to fight, and God, because, I'm with my people. Yeah. But I'm willing to, hey, man, listen, to see her come out and fight Jade, I'd like to see how she gets out of this with a win versus Jade, because then you could splinter off other rivals and other storylines, interference and stuff like that, and how you deal with other characters. Like I'm with it. I'm all for it, man. I don't know if you want to reveal my text to you last night, but you can. But you know what I was texting you last night. She the only one of them that I'm all for it. I'm with it. Well, I'm with it.
I disagree with that. There's a few of them.
I mean, I'm talking about right now, though. Right now, I mean, the one I guess she's leaving. That was one of my other ones. She might be leaving, but I don't. I mean, I it's only a few I hold in that high regard where I'm just going to disregard my BGM stance. It's gotcha. Only a few of them.
Well, I think she deserves that. Just as much as Kevin Owens deserved to come back and win that title. I'm going to stick by, win that number one contendership. Hopefully he doesn't just go up against CM Punk and lose. It does seem like the WWE is afraid to have certain guys not work without the title.
Right.
I think, and here's something I'm going to say as I go into this Roman Reigns thing, is I think certain people are just awesome at being champion. And certain people are just way better. We know this already, chasing the title. Punk doesn't need to have the title so much. He's been that guy anyway that you can't expect to win, that you'd like to see his rise back to it. You know what I mean? In that kind of sense. But we're going to take a break right here. We're going to come back with Michaela's Wondering, This Week in Wrestling History. Finish this show up Our tribal chief, answer your questions. Comment below. Let me know. Facebook, I don't know what's happening. People just hate me right now. I get reported for the dumbest things. How I do the same thing I do every single week, and they say I've been blocked for some copyright. I started making money from there. Now I started getting hacked, and it's just crazy fucking world we live in. What a crazy world we live in. We'll be right back, y'all. The Mike Knoxxx Show.
Girl, Welcome to What About WWE? I'm Kayla. We are just warning about WWE SummerSlam Night 1 and 2. Night 1 of SummerSlam was horrible, in my opinion. Okay, horrible is an overstatement, but it wasn't good. It was a horrible letdown. The only good thing about Night 1 of SummerSlam was Liv Morgan retaining her title against Io Sky. And it's not even that I honestly dislike Io Sky, it's that she is so overglazed and she's just so, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but she should not have beat Liv Morgan. She is great, and it's her personality, it's the way they wrote her. Like, I miss heel Io Sky. I loved heel Io Sky. It was amazing. Io Sky's funny. I love her, but at the same time, I don't. I want heel Io Sky back. But other than that, Night 1 of SummerSlam was horrible. Night 2 though was amazing. We start off with Kevin Owens returning. One, I think they robbed that championship contender match with Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor is that. But Kevin Owens coming back, I've never seen my dad smile at that screen as big as he was smiling at that screen. It was insane. The pop was insane. I didn't think he was gonna come back. Every time Sami is like having a moment, I always think, oh, Kevin's gonna come back and knock Sami down. But I didn't think he was gonna come back, and my dad said to me, oh, Kevin's out with neck injury. I believed him. And now it's gonna look like my dad said it first. Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams. Trick Williams was robbed, and it's all Liliana's fault. That's all you can say. But Baron Corbin is a very good heel. Very good heel. The women's ladder match was also an incredible match in my opinion. Chelsea Green winning was beautiful. We pledge allegiance to Chelsea Green. It was beautiful. Beautiful finish. Beautiful. Naomi should have returned though. Naomi should have returned. Disappointed Naomi. You're letting me down. It's okay. I still love you. I always will. Always will. The final match, I loved how clean it was. It was a nice, clean one-on-one. They finished. The Shield era is gone. It was nice and clean. Roman Reigns retaining as he should have. He should have retained. It was a nice, clean match. No interference, no cheating, no nothing. Roman Reigns proved everyone wrong. Penta losing his title. Finally. I don't like how he lost his Chad Gable though. I want a heel to hold that title. There's been too many good two shoes holding that title. I need a heel to get that title. Please and make that title feel more relevant. There's been too many goody two shoes holding that title. But as you guys know, I can't really talk about it like this, so let's go back over to the real tribal chief.
Yo, it's prime time.
EST.
Soul Man, Rocky Johnson,
It's the Honky Tonk Man.
NWO. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? The Mike Knoxxx Show,
That's 3 X's cause he's hardcore.
present This Week in Wrestling History with King Vaughn. Yo, it's...
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's King Vaughn Jr., the Victorious Ones podcast, and Perfect Plex Talk Radio, here to give you the week in wrestling history. Of course, to acknowledge the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. On August 1st, 1994, Shawn Michaels took part in his first match since losing to Razor Ramon in the iconic ladder match of WrestleMania 10. In the main event, Of course, HBK defeated Razor in a 23-minute classic. On the same day in 2006, CM Punk made his much-anticipated ECW debut in a match against Just Incredible, an episode of ECW on Sci-Fi tape at the legendary Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. That's why Punk had the 20 on his jacket, but the colors I ain't rocking with. Of course, August 1st, exactly. Of course, August 1st was SummerSlam Night 1, as we all know, as we've been talking about right now. Of course, August 2nd, 1992, history was made as Ron Simmons became the first African American to win a major world title in wrestling when he defeated Vader to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship in Baltimore. And of course, on the same day, 1998, ECW presented Heatwave 98 on pay-per-view. And of course, the highlights showed Taz defeated Bam Bam Bigelow by way of submission in a Falls Count Anywhere match to retain the FTW title, and Sabu and RVD defeated Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki to retain the ECW Tag Team titles. And that was the same day as SummerSlam Night 2, as the Tribal Chief conquered the visionary Seth Rollins. August 3rd, 1997, WWE SummerSlam took place at the Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The main event saw Bret the Hitman Hart defeat The Undertaker to win his 5th WWF Championship. August 4th, 1995, WCW's Collision in Korea event aired for the first time in the UK. It was taped in North Korea in April. The two-day event had a highly disputed audience of 340,000 over 2 nights. If true, this would make these the 2 highest attended wrestling events in history. August 5th, 1996, the Great Sasuke defeated Ultimo Dragon in the finals of the J Crown tournament to win a total of 8 different title belts, collectively known as the J Crown. Included, of course, in the Hall of Titles was the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship, the IWGP and NWA Junior Heavyweight Championships, and the British Commonwealth Junior Heavyweight Championship. That's a lot. August 6th, of course, 2007. Vince McMahon returned to Monday Night Raw after the Who Killed Mr. McMahon angle was dropped, sadly. Vince, of course, McMahon set up a 20-man battle royal to determine who would be named the general manager of Raw. The battle royal was won by William Regal. That would have been a great storyline, by the way. August 1st, of course, Devon, one half of the legendary Dudley Boys, turned 54. Harry Smith, son of the late great British Bulldog, turns 41.
Friend of the program.
Yeah, friend of the program, of course. August 2nd, Austin Theory turns 29. August 4th, Dean Malenko turns 66. That's August 4th. August 5th, Rick Derringer, the one who came up with the red and yellow theme, of course, turns 79. Stan Lane turns 73. Pat Tanaka turns 63. Sin Cara turns 49. And on August 6th, the one and only Mike Knoxxx turns 51. And that is the week in wrestling history. Mike Knoxxx, back to you.
Yo, 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 it's crime time.
EST.
Soul Man, Rocky Johnson.
It's the Honky Tonk Man.
NWO. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? The Mike Knoxxx Show,
That's 3 X's because he's hardcore.
present This Week in Wrestling History with King Vaughn.
Thank you for that, guys. Michaela wonders, you forgot about Oba Femi? Man. And yeah, I told you, I thought I was lying. I did. I screamed. I was pretty, when Kevin Owens came out, I kind of lost my shit. Okay. And F that 20 years of him being in wrestling, I don't give a damn. He's from Chicago. Chicago made Phil Brooks, made CM Punk know. Phil Brooks is from Rosemont, Illinois. No longer he's going, I can't even wear a shirt today. Went in my closet to grab my shirts. I work from home. And a CM Punk shirt was there, and I said, no shirt, I can't. I'm not over it yet. I can't do it. Everything about that man's shirts all represent the Chicago flag on it, and you're coming out in something Minnesota. It's a sports terrorist move, and it's what it is. Okay, but as we are back here on the Mike Knoxxx Show, listen. The only thing that matters to me is that right here, I am glad, because this is a deep situation subject, to be honest with you, and to be fair. Because I want to speak as I am. I want to speak as partial as I can, if I may. Because I'm a Roman Reigns fan from day one. Didn't care. No, I didn't see, Black and the Shield. No, I didn't watch Moxley at first, although I knew him from CZW. I know the company in which I'm watching, so I know the stars they create. So instantly, it's like when I first saw Robert Roode in TNA, I thought bigger than him than what he actually really became. He became big in TNA, but I thought he was the next Triple H. That Team Canada bit, I thought they were amazing. So you look at certain people, we've been wrong. I looked there, I said, Roman's going to be a star. And we got the proverbial, well, they're shoving them down our throats. Y'all know what I'm going to go with that. Name me a superstar in the history of professional wrestling that was not shoved down our throats. I'll wait. I don't care if you tell me it's Stone Cold, Daniel Bryan, whatever the case. Rather, I'm not speaking from the perspective of we wanted him versus them not wanting him. If they're being displayed every single week, multiple times in multiple segments, and talked about every single show because the center of the show revolves around them, that's essentially being shoved down our throats. Now, you don't like the way, how they took him to get there, whatever. This latest rendition of him, people, including Coach P, and no disrespect when I say his name, because others, find him boring, find him chicken shit. I love what Phil said yesterday, and I remember peeped it from when you said it. If you go back and listen to yesterday's show, guy, you said, it's the fact that he does all this dirty shit to people and never get it back at him. The small ones he get, but it's never really been shoved. Like Jey Uso doing what he did. Deuces. It should have been everybody should have turned against him by now. And that didn't happen. They swayed it back. So people think, well, he's nothing without Heyman. He's nothing without Bloodline. He's this, he's that. All that's fair. It's also professional wrestling. Somebody said he's boring and they're tired of the same chicken shit. And I know you can really speak on this one, Coach. I'll get you in here. I felt Hollywood Hogan did that an awful lot. No one bitched about it until the finger poke of doom. And I had a guy conversation a couple weeks ago said to me, he said, can you imagine the finger poke of doom had happened between Hall and Nash? I said, shit, he would have probably got the fuck over because it was Hall and Nash. You would have expected it. But you fast forward to this and Seth is that guy. They tell us why Seth stripped the colors of the all black off in the back in the color scheme because he was over this whole thing. This is his coming back out party. He's fighting for himself back. The way this shit was built when I thought it was built shitty, I go back because I love when I'm wrong. And that's why I kept this here. WWE has lost the plot. Ticket purging, all this was created so they could sell tickets because this made no sense. I even kept that energy up until the match. If you're on the paper, and we did the show today morning, I said, I don't get it. It just came out of nowhere. This is the beauty of professional wrestling, people, last night. And I think you should just grab onto, whether you like them, don't like them, all that's fair. What they showed us, I'm going to use the most overly used word in professional wrestling, guys. Y'all know what it is. Say it with me. Cinema. Say it with me. Cinema. Because the story from Seth, the story from Roman, the picking up the chair and not hitting him and throwing it down. I just waited and waited and waited like everyone else with the ref not moving at all. Like, what the fuck? They didn't send no one out here. This is strange. The power bomb on power bomb through the tape. The stolen move after stolen move. They had it just stored from WWE 2K26. They just had them stored. I'm going to take your move. And here go, guys, you watch, as I said earlier, you can't compare to me anyway, the hatred love of a KO and a Sami, because they never really showed love to each other. It's always been understood it was a business arrangement with the Shield. You know what I mean? Just happen to, the shit talking to me that makes Roman great, right? In the ring. You're number 2. You're fucking nothing to me. You know what I mean? To me, it gives me Ric Flair. Ric Flair did the same thing for years, where he just got by with the Horsemen. No one back then complained about it. But to last night, for him to go one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins, who, for what it is, he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt. He will always be the Randy Orton to John Cena to Roman Reigns. Maybe even lower. Maybe even go edges, depending on how you want to flip-flop Edge and Orton for being up there with Cena. But they're not Cena is my point. He will never be Roman. And it's proved it last night. What's your take from all that, Phil? Because I thought that last night, that match was so beautiful to me. Through all the hypeness, to all the disappointment with Trick Williams losing, which I still get why you lose. I just don't get, like I said, with Finn Balor, You couldn't have done anybody else to win that title other than Corbin. And I like Corbin. I just think it's a little bit too little too late. Right? It's one of the things I know, bring the veteran in to help the young guys, but next conversation for another day.
I mean, there's a rhyme. I think
there's always a reason for stuff, so I don't really get too mad.
And I'll give you my take on that later.
Yeah. But this
first,
match,
let me address one thing as far as the comparison between Roman Reigns and Ric Flair is, I think I appreciate your take. That's your perspective. My perspective on that is that it can't be that kind of comparison because they're not the same type of wrestler. Ric Flair, I don't think of cowardly when I think of Roman Reigns. I think of power hungry. You know what I mean? And I think of a different hierarchy. Mm-hmm. This isn't about henchmen with the bloodline. This is literally about a pecking order.
So this is a mob.
Ric Flair's situation with the Horsemen was literally just a bunch of goons and thugs that made sure that this guy held on to the championship under any circumstance. That's not Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has a more organized
small potatoes or big potatoes.
Yeah, it's like Roman Reigns doesn't project. Now they've turned it into that, but that's not Roman. Roman Reigns is. I think this run should be a true face run for Roman Reigns because he projects. That's the best thing to me you can do for Roman Reigns in this stage of his career because now when you put, he can redeem all of that entire heel run with this major face run and finishing matches like that. Because now, instead of excuses, you get true dominance. Not just dominance because of a storyline.
You know that's not going to happen though, right?
He's got the cachet of weapons.
There's nothing really faced about him though.
Real dominance with this.
That's the thing though. There's you know, you and I from the era of, and I love your analogy with Flair, and I get that comparison. I think it's splitting hairs, but that's your take. But when I look at it from what you were just saying, certain characters, like for instance, just to go to Trick for a second, Trick does nothing that's a face that Trick does. So I personally have a disconnection with, is he a face or a heel? Right? I know they're trying to make him face because people are cheering for him, but his actions show me heel.
Okay, here's what I'll say about faces and heel, and I don't know if you agree with me or not. I typically associate my faces with the majority of their wins coming somewhat clean. Heels are, regardless of your actions, I think a lot of your heel wins typically come from unscrupulous actions. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I associate my heels with. When you getting by doing whatever you can, all kinds of dirty little tricks or whatever have you, there hasn't been many guys that have been able to, let's say, get around that classification. You've had a few, but for the most part, the faces normally have these finishing moves that put guys out and they win clean. They're normally the more physically dominating guy. Ric Flair was never more physically dominating than anyone, so he had to use those tactics. Okay. I don't get that from Roman. Roman Reigns is an action figure looking guy. Okay. You don't have to have your action figure looking guy. You look at him and
know he's a star.
Yeah, do things like that. Like you just don't.
But so how do you? What's your stance on him now, though? Right, from what you saw last night to them progressively going without all the things you said he had to use before, trying to exert his power. I'm gonna have my family come dominate you, and we're gonna do whatever it takes. To me, they're again splitting hairs. It's the same tactics, just the physiques and what they can manifest are different. Right, like you just said, one's a Greek god and one's a regular guy. It does. I'm not gonna say this, but in the psychology of wrestling, it's this big guy shouldn't need these people help.
Yeah, and that's to me that's the beauty why we have our arguments about Roman Reigns.
But that's the beauty of his thing to me, and even more that I'm always gonna say, yes, I wear the YTC and he's the tribal chief. To me, it's always a running joke. He's not the tribal chief. It's Dwayne. You know what I'm saying?
They've always gotten it wrong, and I'm like, you don't really have to do that with this guy, man. Like you're doing, to me, you're just doing it wrong. Like
when he was the big dog, y'all didn't like it. Y'all didn't like him until you got me. Do you have any parts of your? Have you liked any rendition of Roman Reigns
outside of the Shield? No. Yes. Aside from the Bloodline, obviously the tribal chief.
Well, yes, I do. All I ever hear you do is complain about it. I don't ever hear you say.
we have behind the scenes arguments about how, because here's the thing about it is, I just think that the character can be done a lot better. It can be done a lot better. He doesn't like they're losing an opportunity. Let me not say they're losing it because he's the biggest thing in wrestling. So they obviously haven't lost the opportunity. But I just think that you can do a real 180 with this guy and make him even bigger.
But that's how it's going.
This could have been done a long time ago. Like,
but that's what I'm going.
Wasted a long time.
But they didn't though. They spent 10 years on this guy being a face that you guys didn't like. So now that he's a heel, he's loved because people have changed, right? So there's nothing, and in watching that match today, other than the fact he didn't hit him with the chair, right? That was simple because there's always a plan B. Even Michaela Wonder said, "Okay, we get it. There's always a plan B." When Seth grabbed the chair, like even she's like, "Okay, I'm over this part of their storyline," right? The only thing they did, they paid tribute to one Dean Ambrose, John Moxley. But other than that, if you watch everything about Roman Reigns that has made Roman, and I mean saying attention to his matches, he is a shit talker. If there's ever been a shit talker inside the ring of professional wrestling, all he ever does is say, "You're nothing. You're the twos. I'm the ones. I put the food on the table. I take it off. Who are you? I'm tired of playing. I'm head and shoulders above you. Why are you here?" He said that through Seth. That's not something a good guy says historically, right? So they can cheer him. They're not going to change, at least in my opinion, what they've been doing. Because again, I go back to Sokoa. There's a hierarchy tonight of what's happening. It should be, right? Let me rephrase that because it is WWE, right? Tonight they should be saying something. Are we going to trust Solo more? He told us to get back to the family. That was the mission. They lost the match. That kind of thing. Roman, I won my part. Where were you guys at? Y'all lost. Y'all made me look stupid. That's who he is. Anything, because going back to the big dog, y'all didn't like. He played the good guy role.
I'll say that. I'll say this. You just 30 minutes ago, you went through a whole spiel about forcing down the throat. Sometimes you just got to try things until that didn't work, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's not the star. He had to go through a process himself. John Cena was multiple things. We didn't like it, but ultimately at the end of the day, he caught on as a face. And then at that point it became, sometimes we liked him, sometimes we didn't. But
see,
he
that's
never
wrong. He
wavered
didn't catch on as a face. The Dr. Thugonomics caught on and he was a heel. That turned face.
And when he turned face,
he
never looked back.
Because
he
of
never
the war.
looked back.
Tribute
because
to the
that's
troops.
what a face is going to be a face whether you love him or not.
Correct.
Their wins and losses are what truly
You're making my point, though,
them.
that what Cena did and what Cena was true faces, right? You're saying for the benefit of a few of you guys, or the thousands that there is, but the millions, absolutely. When you go to wrestling, when you watch it on TV, 80% of that stadium has their ones up, if not more. And I remember being a part when it was only seven of us.
Yeah.
There was only 7 of us holding our fingers up. When the executive consultant almost gets kicked out of SmackDown on the floor because somebody's arguing with him about respect your tribal chief.
Ignore the cool shit, bro, because the NWO were 100% heels. But everybody had on black and white shirts, and
that's
everyone
my point,
was
though. But you can't. But when you turned them good, life. When you turned them red and black, that shit died. Only a few people went wrong with it. Right? It died.
I never liked the red and black shit to begin with.
In the first place, that's my point.
I personally think they should have just walked away. If you were going to be a face, it shouldn't have had anything to do with NWO. As the best thing that could have happened was when Sting didn't, like when he was doing the face run, not a part of the NWO, because it established him outside of that. When you're a heel, bro, you have to overcome odds. I'm sorry. If you're a face, you have to overcome odds.
Right.
If you're a face and you don't have any odds to overcome, who are you? That's why I think in this phase of let me finish it. Let me finish the point. We can move on because I don't want to dominate the show with Roman Reigns talking what we're thinking because we missed some matches here. Faces, this run that he's about to go on is probably the one that I'm going to respect the most. Not that I didn't like them. The Bloodline is the greatest story in the history of wrestling, period. But I think this face run, if done correctly, will push him way past that. He could be even bigger than what he is. He just can. I see it, but I don't know why anybody else doesn't see it. He doesn't have to be the tribal chief in the terms of a heel. The tribal chief, if the tribe turns against him, now the tribal chief is elevated to an even higher level. But that's just me. Moving on.
No. I don't think you're wrong in that retrospect. I just don't think it's going to happen.
It may
That's
not.
just my belief.
Because they may be
right?
too chicken shit.
Because when you make another shirt the way he does it, it's about being boss. It's about the family. Everything about the storyline is about the bloodline. So having him be without the family just doesn't sit well for me and how they would do it. That's all.
It's not about him not being a part of the family. The family is still the family. You can let's be imaginative here. Let's be creative. If you created the bloodline, you can create something.
Created? Hold on now. Creative? All they've done is recreate the bloodline in multiple ways.
No, I'm saying you can be creative in creating a circumstance where now he's not outed, but he's hunted. You can create a circumstance.
I get that. There's always room for Jello.
Yeah,
there's always room for Jello. I get that, and that's what you got Solo for, who may not come over or may come over. That's the intriguing part of Solo. Just to move on, but I just thought last night, shout out to Seth Rollins as well, shedding the and they brought up the Monday Night Messiah. I was a huge Monday Night Messiah fan. I had hoped that had to work for him. I've never been the biggest fan of, and shout out to my man Reed chimed in. First thing I said, I see with the purple fives with the grapes on.
Yeah, I know,
did
right?
say that. I said first thing I'm not even a sneakerhead, but that's the fives are one of my favorite sneakers of all time.
Okay.
First thing I saw was those shoes. Like I see you, dog. You know what I mean? But
and I hate that, by the way.
Which one? What part?
I just hate sneakers in wrestling.
I do too. Yeah, that's why. I love Finn Bálor. I hate him. Like I hate the Usos, all that shit. Yeah, put on boots.
I hate. He kind of like did a double sacrilege thing for me. I hate like the shin guards over
with
the
sneakers.
I hate it. I hate shin guards. Period. I think they're goofy. I think they make people look like Power Rangers. They look stupid.
I love them.
Give me traditional wrestling boots, man.
Give me the pins on it. I love P.D. Williams. Had them on too. Match that I want to forget about before we got to here, and I didn't want to end the show with this. I didn't want to end with Roman, but I will talk about, if you want to speak on it, is Gable getting over with Penta, new entrance. The night before we did talk, yesterday morning rather, we did speak about how the production and things wasn't like that. Spoke to a couple people that went to the building. They said it was different inside the building, which of course is obviously going to be that way in a stadium. I think Gable deserved it. I remember having to pull over on the side of the road, going to Disney World with my family to get an interview with him with Fox Sports 1340 on the road, telling my kids in the backseat like to be quiet because that was the only time they gave me when they didn't give me a time. And I actually said to my wife and the kids, "I'm gonna pull this car over."
Penta had a great run. I thought Penta's run was great.
Oh, he had 10 titles. That was his 10th title defense.
Yeah, that's great,
in 100
bro.
days. Like he did an awesome job at it. I like that, and I thought the match was phenomenal. But before we got here, I would overall, again, because I know we gave night one a grade, I would give night two. I heard greatest SummerSlam of all time. I'm not going to, that's your opinion. No, not to me either. Not to me either. No. But, again, that's the person's grade. For me, because it's hard to grade, I can't just grade night two, which I do think night two was a 4.5 out of 5.
I agree.
World Brock Lesnar undisputed title, it was flawless other than Trick losing, but I understand why Trick lost, right? But night one gave me so many duds, in my opinion, that has to get added into the grade. And we gave it a C for what it was, but the letdowns were not there. You know what I mean? Like, even if something as simple as Oba, in my opinion, not finishing off Brock on the exposed ring, which I think he was supposed to. I've watched it 3 times, and even Brock looks over like, you missed the spot.
Yeah,
you know
Brock looked over. Brock was disappointed, man. He was visibly disappointed. But
he was supposed to hit him on that to put him out.
He back on that shit.
Yeah.
Relax, man. You walked out on your shield.
So that, other than that, but I give the total. I ain't gonna. I give it about a 4 out of 5. I'm gonna change my belt grade as the undisputed title is my first title. I love that title. I'm gonna give it the WWE Big Eagle belt, the one that Triple H wore a lot. I still give it a 4 out of 5 of that title. I thought last night made up for everything from night one. It just truly, truly did. From Chelsea Green to them coming out representing the colors the right way, wearing the purple for Prince, wearing the purple for their cities like they're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Not wearing green for when you're from somewhere else.
Can we talk about Jay for just a minute? That was dope. The whole baddies crew, man. That was dope.
Yeah, they all came out representing too.
That was dope. I said, wow. She gets it, man. She understands.
And I thought yesterday was one of her better performances. I think she gets better and better the more she performs on this roster. I think people got to also understand they're not doing house shows anymore, right? They used to wrestle 5 to 6 nights a week. They wrestle 2 to 3 if they're lucky. And so they're not going out there out here doing promotional things. They're at home a lot more than they were. This is what you guys as fans demand they get. So when you get that, you have to understand it's going to be a slow move and them getting, the next level.
Listen, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, man, like she's getting better. There's certain aspects of her wrestling and her in-ring action I don't like, but I just look at it like how I used to look at Lex Luger. Like, unfortunately, you just can't. You got to have somebody like that on TV. Like, unfortunately, just genetically, they pass every eye test you could possibly think of. And you just got to live with some of the things that she can't do. But it is what it is. She's not terrible anymore, man. Like, they can stop that, man. I'm not going to allow that anymore.
What would you give the SummerSlam grade?
The overall?
Overall.
I'm gonna go B-. I think 4.5 for that second night was great. I thought it was great. I got a lot of elements that I look for in a pay-per-view. Surprises, oohs and ahs, in-ring quality, and story development. So if I get those things, man, I'm happy, and I got that. If I'm wondering what's going on here, that's not very good to watch. I'm going to watch it anyway because that's what I do, and that's what we do as wrestling fans. But if I answer a lot of those questions, then I'm happy. I gave it a 4.5, man. So overall, I'm gonna give that SummerSlam probably like a B-. Second night pulled it up, so I'm gonna give it a B-. That's a great.
That's a good. I had a great second night. Like I said, the Kevin Owens. The Kevin Owens coming out, I did not expect that set my night off as night one. Disappointed my night when I saw CM Punk come out in the Minnesota North Star outfit. It just didn't.
Don't let that go.
I'm never gonna let
you
off.
Might slap that man when you see him, man.
It ruined. No, I'm not one of them idiot fans to do that kind of stuff. But
no, I'm joking, bro.
Yeah, I know. But it just, I am that man. Like I don't know how to put a shirt on right now. I do not know how to do that anymore. I can't. It burns my britches that man actually wore that out to the ring. But I'm going to get my black ass up out of here. I've been here longer than I thought I would be here. Thank everybody for tuning in. Please follow, subscribe, please. Been doing this for a while. I appreciate you. Always trying to bring some good content, some good wrestling understanding, just to the show for the intelligent wrestling fan. Just understand there's multiple different shades of wrestling fan. There's 50 shades of black. There's 180 shades of wrestling fans. Here go one of my brothers. We think completely different. We see it from different perspectives, but it's all still love, good understanding. Is why me and Vaughn the same way. I know sometimes y'all think me and Vaughn agree. We may agree, but it'd be completely different reasons why we agree about professional wrestling and so forth. So I will say, go check out my Spider-Man review and my shorts on my YouTube channel here as well as in my TikTok page. You know what it is, Mike Knoxxx. So do me a favor. Do not wake up tomorrow morning and say to yourself, I love me some me and don't love God. That's crazy because Mike Knoxxx, who you going for?
Who are you rooting for tonight? I'm rooting for everybody black. I am.
So please understand.
Message.
And if you think you're better than Mike Knoxxx,
just bring it, bitch.
Because I'm going to be who I am and all I am is who I am.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
And I know I hear y'all out there talking, and man, y'all use my stuff, y'all take my stuff. You will share it, but won't say where you got it from. Whenever you're ready, I have a link for you.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's no wonder you get D's and everything.
So do me a favor.
Stop it. Get some help.
Because you can't win. Listen, always know that I love you and we love us.